Hi guys, I'm Shmi, hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me for part 6 of the Road to Zenvo series. I'm here at Zenvo's HQ in Præsto in Denmark, and behind me in the assembly hall, that is my TSR-S being worked on. Today we're going to have a full update on its progress. We're going to be learning a little bit more about some of the technical details as well. So we'll head in shortly, go and see how it's coming along, check out some of the interior specification and seeing how those renders are coming to life. Then we're going to be learning about the use of carbon fibre. There are so many things that you wouldn't normally consider that can be made with carbon to save weight, to increase strength, and we're going to be having a look at all of that before we go and check out the engine and gearbox. We had the start-up sound of one of the cars around, and we're going to be finding out a lot more as well about the new type of clutch that Zenvo are using to both make it even more exciting to drive and save a lot of weight. Let's head through and go and take a look. Here it is then, let's have a little look. Things have progressed very nicely since we last saw this car. When I came to visit to see some of the paintwork being done to the roof section with this fabulous exposed carbon fibre, we have the metallic pearlescent purple paint, the exposed carbon with the weave, we have the lime green pinstriping details. We're going to go through all of this in more detail in a moment, but there are plenty of touches on the interior as well. We now have the carbon fibre dash in place along with some of the trim elements, but as we take a look around, the car does currently have some slave parts that are used as part of the build, but you can start to see the chassis and the different structure around it taking place. You've got various different pieces of carbon fibre, the storage area up front, A side and B side, of course the areas that are going to be exposed when it's completed. Coming around towards the back, we've got some of the suspension components here, but like I said, the whole rear structure back here, the frame and also the suspension uprights, those are all slave parts. But what's really interesting is how different components are being moved or transitioned to carbon fibre to save more weight. That huge area of carbon for the bulkhead back here, it is quite something to behold, but there are lots of questions I need to ask. We're going to be joined by some of the team from Zenvo to go through some of this, to look at some of the various different parts that are around and quite how light some of the carbon fibre actually is. But how exciting is this? This is the car that is going to be, over the next couple of months, making its way through to completion. I'm rejoined by Christian, who created the specification of the car for me.
I surely did, and look how far we got.
It's amazing to see.
Yeah, we're like super happy about this this specification. It's so daring, and at the same time, it's just so nice.
You say it's daring, but you've got red and orange, yellow. There's a green car around.
I know. But come and have a closer look at the roof here. I think this combination of the purple and the lime green, and then the tinted purple on the roof, that is gonna be like truly awesome when it comes out in the sunlight. So that's like super nice.
I mean, this is the thing. We're seeing it now with the I guess virtual sunlight over the top of it.
Virtual sunlight, yeah. This is the lamp that really makes it stand out. So that is really beautiful.
Now the paint colors, the correct pronunciation of the paint colors.
It is Lilla Perlemor, and then the accent line is called lime grøn in Danish.
Perfect. I wasn't doing too badly. I've not been doing too badly with it.
I think you've been doing pretty good in Danish pronunciation, actually.
Trying. The words are difficult.
Then I want to show you something different. We just got these parts today, and this is your anodized parts for the vents, and they are like really beautiful. This anodized finished, and we could just insert that here into the carbon dashboard.
This was quite the, let's say, bold specification trim option.
It was, but I think it works really well. And then because you picked your accent lines, which we see here on the dashboard, you picked that in the purple, which is exactly the same purple, of course, as the exterior. I think that is a really nice combination in the interior.
For me, it just brings that flash of the colors. I mean, you see it more with the contrast here of the lime
Absolutely,
green.
Yeah, because here we see the lime green directly on the black carbon, and it of course has a perfect link to the interior. So. Yeah, that's going to be something special. And
then the larger piece will eventually be inserted into the center.
Exactly, yeah.
What I like is that from when you're looking into the car, picture you're looking through the glass, you'll see those flashes of color, and the same in reverse when you see the embroideries on the seat.
Yeah.
And it's about tying it all together, isn't it? Really?
It is, and it's gonna be really, really nice for sure.
Well, the progress is looking wonderful so far.
Yeah.
It's time to get technical. We're with Bertie, who is in charge of the assembly of this car.
Yes, I am, Tim, and progress has been really good, and I'm excited today to show you how much progress we've made. And you mentioned previously about some lightweight carbon fibre parts, so come have a look at these.
Let's go check this out, because it's fascinating how the use of carbon fibre saves so much weight. And you have some examples.
So we've got some examples here. This is the front hood supporting rod. Have a feel of that and let me know what you think.
So this is a normal component.
That's a normal component, which is a common part from the ST1, TS1, and also the original TSR-S.
And in general automotive terms, it's quite lightweight. This is, I'm going to guess, it's about a kilo. It's that kind of thing.
It's about a kilo. Let's say that, yeah.
And then
we'll soon see, because we've got some scales to. And then that's the part that's going. This is your part that's going on your car in carbon fibre.
Same part.
Yeah.
What? Okay, we're going to have to weigh it, because
it's incredible,
that weighs next to nothing in comparison.
Yeah.
And it's carbon, so it's, well, even stronger. It's
stronger, it's more stiffer. You know, we talk about rigidity, but there's nothing.
Yeah,
there's nothing
it weighs absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And the same carries on. So can we actually weigh these?
Yeah.
Let's turn this on and get some numbers, get it zeroed, because I know it's going to be a lot, but I'm not sure how much at the moment. So the standard part is 1.31 kilos. Okay, 1.31. Zero that. I'm intrigued how much lighter this is about to be. What? 263 grams? That's 80% taken out.
As I say, I'm speechless because I'm so excited to show you it. Yeah.
The carbon piece is only a fifth of the weight.
Yeah.
Wowzers.
And that's on one part.
That's just one part in the car.
Yeah. So we've got other parts here. So this is a rear bumper bracket. Again, it's a common part from the early TS1 and ST1 Zenvo. It's on the early TSR-S's. So we'll do the same.
Get a weight behind that. So it's about 1.1 kilos. Yeah. So 1.1 kilos for the standard part. I know in advance to prepare to be amazing.
So there's a billet aluminium machine piece in the end, and that's again it's a carbon tube.
Okay. What are we, about 430 grams or so?
There you go.
Yeah, the balance 410 grams. Yeah. I mean, again, it's about 2/3 out. 1.1 kilos down to 400 grams.
I mean, in motorsport terms, that's a lot of money for that kind of weight. So it's
But to take 60% out.
Yeah.
I mean, and these are.
That's an aluminium. Yeah, again, machined part. That's not a heavy part.
No, but I imagine you can take something out of it, and it's got the bearings at the end.
That's right.
So what's that? 247 grams. And swap it for the carbon fibre one. What does this come down to? Oh, zero it first. 107 grams.
Over half.
Even that's over half out. And that's with
the spherical part of this, the spherical joints at the end, are heavier than the carbon rod itself.
That's crazy.
It just, yeah.
I mean, here alone, we're looking at a few kilos saved, and that's just a handful of components.
Yes, well, yeah, exactly that. 3 parts, there's 2 of these per car, also 2 of these per car. So if we use this kind of technology or thought process on the whole build, we'll save kilos, a lot of them. So,
and what are we looking at here? More carbon fibre?
Yeah, so again, we've got our carbon department. Possibilities are almost endless with carbon. So I want to show you, or showcase you, what we're putting on your car. This is effectively a mount for your gearbox pump and your hydraulic accumulator for the gearbox shift system. So this particular part, little Zenvo logo, like why not if you can. Yeah. So this part would go here on your rear frame.
Okay.
With these 2 bolts here, and that's where the accumulator and the small pump would fit here.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. And just that would traditionally
normally
be also...
it would be metal, as you say, but why would we do metal when we do a lightweight carbon material?
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
It's just incredible to see kind of all of these details, and even I noticed here being worked on the radiator.
That's right, yeah. So again, we were talking about metals. Normally the radiator fan would be aluminium or another material. It's actually plastic on normal road cars, but we've made it in carbon fibre. So for us to turn around the part, yours is actually the first Zenvo to have a carbon fibre radiator fan and even the closing panels are carbon fibre. There'll then be a rubber sealing there to keep the air from bleeding around the radiator. But we can turn around parts, very quickly. There's a little supporting bracket here, which kind of zoom in there. It
gives us the perfect example.
Quite an intricate
you can make
part
it in-house.
there, yeah. So that would be a machined aluminium or billet part. If I wanted to outsource that, it would be sort of a few weeks turnaround. There'd have to be computer-aided design. I asked the guys for it. I got it that day.
So anything like this,
that's it,
can be made in-house, and it's the reason why you do this all in-house, so you can be on top of the process and managed.
It's a hypercar. We need to raise the bar, and if we can do this, then we should do as much as we can.
Well, I am completely blown away by this. It's hard to put into perspective. 1.3 kilos down to 260 grams.
It really is light when you pick it up, isn't it? You have to.
You don't think that is going to be barely any heavier than your mobile phone. I mean, a mobile phone is about 200 grams, and that's a fairly sizable component. Well, that is awesome. Thank you for showing us around. Super exciting to see it as it's making progress. I mean, actually, if we can just look at the car, obviously it's intriguing up front, bits of carbon that have already been installed, components going in. This is a bit of test fit of components, a bit of...
Yeah, there's some slave parts on here, like the suspension uprights. They're not yours. The brake discs are yours, but there's certain parts that we only put at the end of the stage, or the end of the build, so they don't get scratched, limit that factor. This is your luggage box, but this hasn't been painted or finished. So this is obviously having a test fit, because we have to make sure that when the hood goes on, all the shut lines are correct. The radiator will be going into there at some point, so you can't just fit the radiator and then move on. Everything's a hand fit and trim process. So that's what's happening today.
Well, I'm mesmerised by it. Obviously, this is still fairly early stages, but seeing how it does all come together and seeing how all of the components work, and even just being a little bit nosy and obviously seeing wiring looms, seeing presumably sound deadening material.
Sound deadening, also heat, because the engine's obviously sits here, so the heat wants to radiate. Carbon fibre, obviously on the firewall there. So yeah, this is for noise insulation and also heat insulation. Yeah.
Wow. Well, still early days, but really making some good progress, and just mind-blowing to see how the use of materials can really shave substantial weight.
Let's go into the engine assembly room.
First time seeing these then.
So this is your gearbox and your engine. So let's take a look at the engine first.
Wow.
So this is, as you know, the 5.8 litre in-house developed V8 twin supercharged, which produces 1177 horsepower.
Those numbers just need a little moment to process, don't they? Nearly 1200 horsepower. So this is the very engine that's going to be going into my car.
Yeah, there's a few slave parts on it for when we run it on the dyno, so the engine mounts and heat shields and things. They're slave parts, but yeah, fundamentally the block and the cylinder heads and the internals are yours.
Wow, and the superchargers.
We've got your
well.
superchargers over here, so yeah, these enormous superchargers down there.
The home of a lot more power. Well, airflow for a lot more power. Wow, goodness. And I suppose just to kind of step back, gearbox work.
Yeah, so Kenneth builds your engine and your gearbox, so he's just doing the final stages here. And I think while we're doing things of you filming, signing bits, let's...
Am I about to sign
let's
a
get
gear?
you to sign a gear before we put the end casing on.
I don't even know how you do that. Okay.
But, don't worry, it won't invalidate your warranty or anything like that.
Yeah, not going to cause any problems.
No.
How do I... Okay. Time to do a Shmi signature inside a gear. This is a first. I've never done anything like this. Right, let's just do it and hope I get it right and don't make a complete mess. Never did I ever think I would sign...
That's better than I would have done.
sign a gear on a hypercar. Wow. It's time for all of this to be assembled then. I don't think I've ever seen the inner workings of a gearbox like this, and it's quite a bespoke setup.
It is. So we use Chima casings, so it's only the external gearbox housing that we use from someone else. All the internals have been developed in-house by Troels and the team over the years, even down to our semi-active diff. That you won't find that anywhere else. That's our own design and our own control on that.
And this is obviously the source of a lot of fun fireballs and explosions when you're driving.
Exactly that. It's, you know, for me, it's the best part of the car. How our dog box drives on the road, as you've experienced on your test drive, you know, is a feeling like no other.
This is
quite
cool to see it coming together.
All that will happen now is, the end casing would go on and it's ready to bolt up to your engine once it's been running on the dyno, and then it's ready to go into the car.
That's amazing. So how long does that kind of take, I guess? How far off that are we?
We're probably, 2 weeks, including the dyno time, probably 2 weeks ready to go into your chassis.
That's amazing. Really cool to see. There's something we need to take a look at. So we are joined now by Troels, founder of Zenvo. What are we checking out?
We're checking out the evolution of our clutch system, which has been going over years and coming from one type to the latest type. We were never that happy with the old system. This is actually a clutch made for a human controlling it, and the spring is not linear, so it's controlled by distance. It's never the same when it's cold and hot and so on. So it is not the right type of control when you're switching from a human foot into electronics.
Yep.
We switch it over to another system. We figured out where you are controlling it by pressure. You don't have this non-linear spring anymore, and it turned out 10 times better, especially easier for the driver away, and the clutch is the same even if it's cold or hot or worn or new.
Yeah.
To take that a little bit further, we reduced the weight a lot, especially the inertia, and it was, I think we took 8 kilos away from this compared to the old one, and it's much softer on the dog rings in the gearbox, and it's much easier to control. And engine is spinning easier and also coming down in RPM easier. So this is what we're using now, and it's much better for the dog box than the old one.
So for sure you can see a huge, obviously, visual progression, even in terms of weight savings. You can tell that there's a more concentrated towards the center. But this has come through testing with the race car, and
this has been testing for a year in our test mule, and even if it looks more like a race clutch, it is actually even smoother to drive than the old one.
Okay, so the original setup here on a corner weight is 20 kilos on the right front. So that's a 20 kilo total setup. The new system
is much lighter. I can even feel it when you're lifting it.
We're down to
12 kilos.
Down to 12 kilos. So you've taken out 8 kilos.
Yeah.
Reduced the inertia, which means it will spin up faster. And
it will spin up fast. I'm not like it's even more in inertia because you took the static weight away, but also the diameter is smaller, so it will be even more in inertia than the 8 kilos.
Which, from my understanding, means when you're at the wheel of the car, it's going to feel even more lively and responsive.
Yeah. It's much more lively. The RPM is increasing faster, decreasing faster, and that means you're shifting faster, and you're not loading your dog rings in the gearbox as hard as if you have all the inertia spinning around.
And the obvious 8 kilos taken out of a moving part.
Yeah, sure.
Which is
it is kind of like doing carbon wheels.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, awesome to see the progression, and I believe that's going to be going into my car.
Exactly, this one is going into your car.
Wow, incredible. Thank you. It's really interesting to see what goes into building a hypercar, to learn and get a very small understanding of some of the engineering behind it. So it's a huge thanks to the team here at Zenvo for making it possible to share this journey with you. The car has moved on significantly from the last update, where we had just seen the roof panels being lacquered to allow the paint colour and the exposed carbon to shine on through. We've now got a few more of the painted panels in place, namely the A-pillars and the door frame surround as well. And I was surprised to see the glass go in at such an early stage, but this is all about test fit of components, bringing together the next various levels. I'm also intrigued by it being supported directly from the hubs, as opposed to, let's say, jack stands, but obviously that allows it to sit in a more natural configuration, while also enabling the team to be able to go underneath the car if there's anything they need to access. But obviously there is a lot more to be done with this. We've had a glimpse today at the engine and gearbox, and while I would love to be part of the assembly of the gearbox, I suspect that wouldn't be wise. It needs to be done correctly, obviously, with a car making as much power as it does. So a huge thanks to Troels, to Bertie, and also to Christian for showing us around and teaching us a little bit more about this at this stage. Also, when I was here previously, you might remember I got involved in making part of the carbon fibre wheels, and I actually signed another part of that, which they've cured as a bit of a souvenir to keep. So a Tim Schmee signature on a part of Zenvo carbon fibre wheel. I can't wait to see what's going to be happening next. Hopefully be back here before too long when maybe the engine is in place, maybe we'll be able to hear it, who knows at this stage, but this is a very exciting journey, a very exciting thing to be able to see myself, to be part of, and to share with you guys. So thank you very much for joining the Road to Zenvo adventure. This is, really still in early stages, but there's going to be a lot of fun ahead. That's it for this time though. Thanks again to everyone involved today, and thank you to you guys as always for your support. That's it for now though, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.